Everybody nowadays is thinking about dropshipping as some kind of gold mine where they can make money right off the bat, but chances are things are more complicated. So in today's conversation, I want to talk to you about dropshipping do's and don'ts you gotta know. Because the thing is, when you get yourself into a new business, you need to have a clear idea of what you're getting yourself into. You need to understand the particulars of this specific business, right? So first thing first, you got to choose the right suppliers. See, the whole thing is that, everybody thinks about, yeah, Alibaba. When people think about dropshipping, they think about Alibaba. They only think about Alibaba. Yeah, I want to order my goods from China, and that's it. But you are making a big mistake if you think right off the bat that way. You need to explore things further. You need to actually cast a wider net. You need to actually try to put your eggs in different baskets, not in the same proverbial basket. So you need to choose the right suppliers, okay? Now the thing is, the right suppliers will determine the quality of products you sell and how quickly they are delivered to your customers. See, the thing is, when we talk about right suppliers, it's not just about, yeah, the products are good, their quality. But what if your suppliers deliver your products like with 30-month or 30-day or 30-week delay? Your customers will be pissed like big time. They'll be pissed like big time, and this will affect the prestige and the reputation of your store. So you got to think about this duality. These two things: quality of the customer and the speed with which they deliver your products. Very important. Okay, so if you actually have those two, you will see very satisfied customers, and those customers will be returning over and over and over. That's what you want, because you are trying to establish customer loyalty. Okay, so you want to research and take the time to find reliable suppliers who offer quality products at a good price. Good price, very important. Not just like quality products, but no. So you want to pay attention to the reputation. Ask yourself a few questions. Do they have a good reputation? Do they offer quality products? Do they have fast shipping times? Do they communicate well and quickly respond to your queries? Like if you're asking questions, if you send an email, do they respond like within the same day, or they respond within 1 week or 1 month? You got to pay attention to those things. The second thing I want you to do right now, boss, if you're listening to me, you need to find the right products. By the way, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. We love having this kind of conversation. So when we talk about drop shipping do's and don'ts, you need to understand that the do's, you need to find the right products. See, the whole thing is that the internet is just cluttered with gazillions of products. Everybody wants to sell everything, right? Because you're thinking, hey, drop shipping, I can make millions in this industry. It's just fantastic. Wrong, boss. Wrong. What you want to do is you want to specialize yourself. You want to ask yourself, listen, what am I trying to sell here? Do not sell the same thing as everyone else. You are different, okay? And when we talk about making sure that you differentiate yourself, this is important. Okay, you can actually corral, so to speak, corral the whole world, the whole dropshipping world. Specialize yourself. Find your niche. You probably have heard that word before. It's important. It is not just in terms of trying to actually get market share. It's also in terms of talking to the right people. Okay, find your niche, and when you find your niche, you want to actually go even further by talking to the core of your niche, and to the product you are finding, the product that you want to choose will be talking to the core of your niche. Okay, and the thing is that everybody, people are saying, well, the best way to make money with dropshipping is to sell the same hot products as everyone else. No, like consumer electronics or name brand clothing. But see, the whole thing is that when a large number of businesses and sellers try to sell the same products, competition drives prices down, right? Often to the point where the only businesses making a profit are those who receive steep discounts for buying in enormous quantities, like big box retailers. Okay, so you really don't want to go that route. So you want to also think about cashing in on seasonal merchandise. So seasonal merchandise can be a serious cash cow for online retailers who dropship, because typical retailers don't usually carry enough of it for fear of overstocking. Okay, so for example, they don't want to run the risk of having leftover summer merchandise taking up valuable warehouse space in December, not to mention having their money tied up in hibernating inventory that's not selling, right? So that means what? There is a huge opportunity for online retailers who dropship, because they don't have to care in the world about overstocking, really, because they're not carrying inventory in the first place. The third thing I want you to do here is to create compelling product listings. By the way, I want to quickly remind you to this topic. We are talking about dropshipping do's and don'ts. Okay. Now, so let's just quickly, but first, I'm talking to you about the do's. Now, I'll talk to you later about the don'ts, but first of all, I'm talking about the do's. So the first do, choose the right supplier. Second do, find the right products. The third one, create compelling product listings. See, the whole thing here is that when we talk about product listings, you're talking about an element of SEO. You're talking about an element of SEM, search engine marketing. You're talking about an element of actually creating buzz around your products. You want to communicate to your customers, to your shoppers, to your prospective shoppers, right? So how you actually present your products plays an important role. We're also talking about, in terms of compelling descriptions, we're also talking about what? We're talking about, when we talk about product listings, we're talking about description. We're talking about the title. We're talking about high quality photos. We're talking about relevant keywords. We're talking about maybe a visual, like videos. A constellation of things that will help increase conversions. That's the key word, boss. What you want to think about is that you want to think about conversion. See, if you're just going to sell on you want to sell dropshipping products on the internet, you want to make sure that you actually raise your conversion rate as often as possible. That's really important. Okay, try to also think about offering product bundles. Okay, because the whole thing is that you don't want to have the same products in the same basket. You want to have different products in different baskets, so to speak, different niches. Okay, so offer sometimes product bundles. And what you want to do is you want to, number four, you want to provide excellent customer service. Customer service is a crucial part of dropshipping. This is because you're not physically handling the products. So if there are any issue, the customers will likely contact you, and customers will also guide you when it comes to actually the way the product actually fits them. Okay, and you need to understand, if you offer excellent customer service, there is a likelihood that those customers will come back for future purchases. And if you remember, I told you it's all about customer retention rate. It's also about customer loyalty. So please try to provide superior customer service. Very important. I want to go back to the origin, so to speak, what I said before. I said you need to focus on a specific niche. I feel like, I spoke a little bit about that when I was talking about choosing the right suppliers, but I kind of felt the need to talk about it a little bit more. See, the whole thing here is that when we talk about focusing on a specific niche, we're not just talking about a topic. We're talking about a community. We're talking about you building a community of like-minded individuals, folks who are really willing and able to support you. That's what you want, right? You need to be in a situation where you're constantly up in your game. You're constantly improving your game. And when we talk about improving your game, we're speaking about you being in a situation where you are talking to the right people. See, there is a correlation between a niche and a target audience. If you're able to talk to the right target audience and you are able to find a niche, this duality, it's a win. It's a win-win, because your customers will love you, your prospects will love you, and you'll be able to scale and grow your business right way. So the right way. So you want to focus on niche merchandise. Number 6, you got to have a business plan. See, dropshipping is a business. It's not a side gig that you do on the weekend and trying to make extra money. You can start like this, but if you are serious about this business, you really need to quickly convert this into a full-time job, a full-time business. People are making millions of dollars in this stuff, so why not you? Okay, why can't you do it? You can do it. You definitely have the opportunity to do it. So you need to have a business plan that actually delineates your business vision, your drop shipping business vision. So you have a clear idea. See, the business plan is not for anybody else. I mean, you can use it for other things though. You can use it to get a business loan. You can use it to get a business line of credit. You can use it to actually get investors into your business, but it's primarily for yourself, because a business plan is a navigational tool that allows you to know where you are going and the objectives you need to reach to make your business successful. Okay. And when we talk about having a business plan, And one thing that's really important, and one thing that should be part of your business plan, is that you should try different marketplaces. So when we talk about drop shipping, don't you just focus on Amazon. Amazon is one of the biggies, but you also think about Etsy. Think about Etsy. Think about eBay. Think about print on demand. Think about Shopify, BigCommerce, WooCommerce. The world is big, okay? Avail yourself of that. And you need to sell what you know. Don't you sell things you don't know, okay? Very important. Number 7, you want to utilize the power of social media. Oh boy, 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 this is so important. By the way, I want to quickly remind you again of today's topic. We're talking about what? We're talking about dropshipping's do's and don'ts. And what I want to say here is that social media is really powerful. See, the whole thing is when people think about social media, well, I'm just thinking about, I'll go on social media to, people go on social media to entertain themselves, to educate themselves, and also to inform, like for news, whatever. And the thing is that if you know how to harness the power of social media to your advantage, you will be able to make a lot of cash in your dropshipping business, okay? And it's really important to understand that almost every buyer uses social media, so it's important to use this platform to reach out to them. Now, social media can create brand awareness and drive up like your store's traffic. It's just that you need to really understand which social media you should be at. So this will be driven by your target audience and the products you're selling and what your competitors are doing, because you don't want to do something that's totally different from what competitors are doing. Like, for example, if all of your competitors are selling on TikTok, then you want to be on TikTok too. You can't be selling on YouTube if all your competitors are selling on TikTok. Okay, so again, when we talk about social media, we're speaking about diversity here, plurality. TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, okay, Pinterest, Instagram. Okay, plurality is important. You can actually promote your products, your dropshipping products, using paid ads, PPC, SEM. You can also do it through influencer marketing, or you can create engaging content. It really depends on you, okay? And so you also want to try to price your products competitively. So don't try to be like have a highly priced or like price. Don't try to have prices that are too high or too low. No, you want to actually just have a very nice average. It's all about having consistent revenue, right? Consistent profits over time. So, but don't try to compete on price alone. Okay, quality is really important also. The next thing I want you to do, I actually have two things before we actually go to the don'ts of dropshipping. So, number 9, you want to optimize your product descriptions. Product descriptions, I spoke earlier about the product listings, but here I'm speaking specifically about descriptions. And the reason why descriptions are so important, I mean, when we analyze product descriptions online, whether you're doing drop shipping or regular shipping or just you're a regular seller, we look at 3 things. We look at a trifecta that for us is really important. Number 1 is your product description keyword optimized. That's the SEO part of things. Number 2 is your product description compelling enough to actually entice a buyer to buy, like a buyer to actually make a purchase decision. And number 3 is your product description accurate. In other words, are you embellishing things, or are you just telling the truth? Those are really important. So accuracy, SEO, and the compelling part of it, like the sales pitch, those are really important elements, because this is how you are going to establish your store, your dropshipping store, as an authority in that field when it comes in that niche. Okay, and you need that authority. You need that authoritativeness. So those are really important. So when it comes to optimizing your product description, this must be a daily endeavor of yours. Number 10, when it comes to the do's, you want to experiment with shipping rates. You need to understand that when we talk about drop shipping, okay, a lot of people care about, like, see, because of Amazon and other players, people have been are now accustomed to paying nothing for shipping. I mean, like, listen, if you want a product, if you want to close that sale, offer free shipping. Now, the thing is, when you offer free shipping, just make sure that you're able to come out positively on the profit side of things. Like, this is monetarily good for you. And you can try to experiment with shipping rates. You can maybe charge like $5, $10. You can charge the shipping. You can set the shipping rates as a percentage of the sales price of the products. So try everything. Do a lot of iteration to see what works for you. Now, let me give you a few pro tips. And now we want to talk about the don'ts of dropshipping, right? So we just spent a lot of time. I mean, not a lot of time. We spent a few minutes on the do's of dropshipping. Now let's address the don'ts of dropshipping. So don't sell what everyone does. This is really important. When we talk about differentiating yourself, everything starts from there. You can choose the best niche possible. You can choose the profitable target audience, like the target audience with high profit potential. If you're selling what everybody else does, you're going to have like a price to the bottom, and this is everybody's going to lose. Okay, I've said this before. Don't do this. You might be thinking, well, this is everybody's selling, like it's profitable. It is very popular. Yes, it is popular, but the profit margins, what are they on those products? Are they peanuts, or are you making any money at all? Or you just want to sell? And do not forget seasonal merchandise. I said this also before. See, seasonal merchandise refers to goods that people demand more of during specific times of the year. So an example could be Halloween decorations in October or Christmas trees in December. So these items can be quite profitable, but only if you stock them at the right time. So many dropshippers make the mistake of not stocking enough seasonal merchandise, leading to lost sales. So be keen on short-term trends and capitalize on the high demand to ensure you make the most of the opportunity. Okay? And the cool thing is those are predictable. I mean, they happen every year. I mean, October. I mean, Halloween is going to happen this year, and so is Christmas. So is Thanksgiving. Those are really like staples of American culture. I mean, but see, it doesn't matter if you listen to this show. You're overseas. You know that you have holidays there as well. You have a season. You have holiday seasons also there. So it's all about making sure that you have the proper strategy, and do not overspend on ads. Okay, advertising. You might be thinking, well, it's cheap. PPC is cheap, whatever, but it could be very expensive. So you really want to make sure that you have the right strategy in place so that you are just selling what you really need to sell. Okay, and the bottom line here is that don't overspend on advertising. You always want to start with little and gradually expand. Another thing I want you to really pay attention to is to think about shipping. But shipping, earlier I was talking to you about like experimenting with different shipping rates. Now I want you to really think about not delaying shipping. Shipping is so important that you should not delay it. Okay, and the thing is, remember, customers are used to two things. Thanks to Amazon, they're used to free shipping, and they're used to fast shipping. It has to be free and fast. So if you want to compete on that turf, if you want to compete with sellers on Amazon or other platforms, you have to actually think about think about offering faster shipments. Remember, as a drop shipper, you're not the one controlling anything. Your supplier is. So that means you have to talk to your suppliers to make sure you can reach a proper agreement when it comes to drop shipping speeds. Okay, those are really, really important for you, not only in terms of establishing the initial sale, but also prolonging that relationship over time. The whole thing is customer retention. Remember that customer retention is key, because it's a lot harder to acquire new customers than maintain the current relationships, than maintain relationships with the customers you already have. Okay, and the fifth tip when it comes to the don'ts of dropshipping is not abandoning feedback. Do not abandon feedback. So customer feedback is important to your business because it helps you get a real picture of how customers feel about your products and services. So if you're not getting good feedback, It could indicate that problems with your business need to be addressed, okay? And the thing is, do not ignore customer feedback or try to hide it from potential customers. Instead, use it to improve your business and show potential customers that you are constantly trying to improve the customer experience. So it's really important to keep that in mind that, if you are trying to sell, if you are trying to drop ship, you are going to have hits and misses. It's just what it is. You're a human like I am, and you're going to have good days and bad days. You're going to have good products and bad products. If you need to accept that, you need to instead, so after accepting it, find a strategy to address it. It's not about avoiding it. It's about just looking at it and find ways to mitigate it. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I share with you the dropshipping do's and don'ts you gotta know. So here are the do's of dropshipping. Choose the right supplier. Find the right products. Create compelling product listings. Provide excellent customer service. Focus on a specific niche. Have a business plan. Utilize the power of social media. Price your products competitively. Optimize your product descriptions. Experiment with shipping rates. Here are the don'ts of dropshipping. Don't sell what everyone does. Don't forget seasonal merchandise. Don't overspend on advertising. Don't delay shipping. Do not abandon feedback. Thank you. I'll speak to you another time, but until then, remember, stay marvelous.